It isn't uncommon for people to say, I just want to curl up with a good book tonight, or tonight I'm just going to grab myself some popcorn or a tub of ice cream and just veg out on the couch. But for some reason, video games carry a negative stigma. Are you just going to sit around playing video games all day long? Well, why not? Why is it wrong to veg out or curl up with a good game? Video games can invoke the same powerful emotions in us that books or movies do. They can thrill us and excite us, make us laugh, make us cry, bring us to the edge of our seat, or scare us out of our skins. From childhood to adulthood, some moments in video games will leave an indelible imprint on us. And what follows are my own personal top 10 video game moments that have been forever etched into memory. I'm Espionage DB7, and this is an Odds and Ends Gaming Top 10 list. Number 10. Escape from Andross Lair, Star Fox 64. If there's one thing I remember vividly from my middle school days on into high school, it's spending hours upon hours trying to get medals on each and every planet of the Lilat system, trying to discover every route, trying to unlock every versus option, and trying to run that bill up for General Pepper as much as I could.
What?
But the moment that sticks out the most is finally killing the evil floating head of Emperor Andross. The real one, not that mechanical facsimile. Only to be caught in the destructive explosion.
If I go down, I'm taking you with me.
But just then, your radio comes on.
Don't ever give up, my son.
Father?
The next thing you know, you're zooming out of the facility as the explosion
Follow
rages
me,
on
Fox.
behind you. And just when the conflagration seems ready to engulf you,
You've become so strong, Fox.
I mean, come on. Who doesn't love the good old-fashioned escape from the exploding building cliche?
Fox, you're okay.
Number 9. GLaDOS tries to dispose of you. Portal. This is a moment I love just for the sheer surprise of it. I remember picking up Portal as part of the Orange Box bundle when it first came out. There was a good amount of hype around the game due to the cutting-edge physics and the gameplay mechanics, but I thought it was nothing more than a puzzle game. And for the first half of the game, that's exactly how it plays. One room after another of puzzles and problem solving. Some good critical thinking fun, but nothing spectacular. Then, at the end of the last hole...
Congratulations. The test is now over. All aperture technologies remain safely operational up to 4,000 degrees Kelvin. Rest assured that there is absolutely no chance of a dangerous
I remember thinking to myself, is this how they're gonna end the game? They're just gonna kill me off? Then I saw the concrete on the other side.
Goodbye. What are you doing? Stop it.
And just like that, out of nowhere, this puzzle game had a plot. And what a plot it's been. But stay tuned, because unlike Valve, I can count to 3.
We are throwing a party in honor of your tremendous success.
Number 8. Bolvar at the Wrathgate, World of Warcraft. Some of my fondest memories in my gaming career come directly from World of Warcraft, from gaming with longtime friends as well as making brand new ones, to dispensing my own divine brand of justice as protector of the holy light, Salo the Shield Bearer. But one moment in the game's story itself really stuck with me over the years, when High Lord Bolvar Run calls out and confronts the heinous ruler of the undead, Arthas the Lich King. I remember the quest in Stormwind Keep, where we escorted a prisoner, Sir Reginald Windsor, from Blackrock Depths to the Stormwind Throne Room to confront Lady Katrana Prestor, who is really the evil dragon Onyxia in disguise. She and her entourage of dragons make short work of Windsor, unfortunately, but Bolvar, who was not aware of Onyxia's schemes, puts up a valiant fight, and with your help fends off her dragon guards. Up to this point, Bolvar was little more than a random NPC in the game to me, but here he showed his worth and mettle as a true paladin. Fast forward towards the incursion into Northrend, as we take the fight to the Lich King, who has long sat on his frozen throne in the Ice-Crown Citadel. Here was this godlike being, ruler of the undead legions, a man who killed his own father and mentor, Uther the Lightbringer, and even defeated the likes of other immensely powerful beings, such as Illidan Stormrage. But here comes Bolvar, valiant and valorous.
Back, you mindless wretches! Fight on, brothers! Rise up, sons of the Horde! Blood and glory await us! Warthog for the Horde! I was wondering if you'd show up. I couldn't let the Alliance have all the fun today. Arthas! The blood of your father, of your people, demands justice! Come forth, coward, and answer for your crimes!
I mean, the audacity of this moment was just awe-inspiring to me.
You speak of justice, of cowardice. I will show you the justice of the grave and the true meaning of fear.
Granted, the whole ordeal did not have the best outcome for such a heroic paladin, but in the end his bravery and sacrifice will always make for a great gaming memory.
Worlds stretched thin across the membranes where the dimensions intersect. Impossible to describe with our limited vocabulary.
What I've seen is also beyond words, Breen. Genocide. Indescribable evil. Good God.
Well, if it isn't Gordon Freeman at last.
Number 7. The tearing down of Breen's screen. Half-Life 2. My love for the Half-Life games has never been obfuscated. I have been a die-hard fan of the franchise ever since I first dropped a copy of the original Half-Life into the CD-ROM tray of my Windows Millennium Edition PC. No game before or since, with possible exception of the Mass Effect games or the pre-Fallout 76 Fallout games, has been able to captivate me in such a way, putting me directly in the shoes of Dr. Gordon Freeman, a young research associate at the epicenter of a cataclysmic event known as the Resonance Cascade. After the events of Half-Life 1 and the Black Mesa Research Facility, Gordon wakes up and finds himself thrust into a post-apocalyptic world where an alien race known as the Combine has subjugated all of humanity. The thing that has time and again drawn me to the Half-Life games is that there really aren't any cutscenes. No sudden or abrupt cutaways from the action where you watch something unfold in the third person, but rather everything that happens in the games happens before your very eyes as you're playing. One such scene takes place shortly after escaping the Nova Prospect prison. When word of your quote-unquote demise spreads, the sparks of rebellion are ignited, and the once enslaved citizens of City 17 heed the call to arms and rise against their alien oppressors. As Gordon emerges from the ruins, revealing he's alive, one happens upon the tearing down of one of the traitorous Dr. Breen's Breencast screens, a potent symbol of oppression and authoritarianism.
It did not. It crept forth boldly while its brethren...
It was like happening upon a real-life revolutionary moment as the statue of a dictator is torn down.
We can finally make some headway.
And just like that, you, Gordon Freeman, are now a freedom fighter and leader of the human resistance.
Analyzing. We have 6 minutes before the fusion drives detonate. You need to evac now. Activating final countdown timer. When it reaches zero, the engines will detonate. The explosion will generate a temperature of almost 100 million degrees. Don't.
Number 6. The Warthog Run. Halo Combat Evolved. So this is the second escape from the exploding building cliche on this list, and believe it or not, it won't be the last. Regrettably, my experience with the critically and commercially acclaimed Halo series of games has been rather limited due to the fact that I've never owned any of the Xbox consoles. However, I have a distinctive fondness for the game that started it all, Halo Combat Evolved. Having first touched this game in my college years through the community Xbox in my university rec center, I immediately fell in love. Having been a PC gamer since the early 2000s, I soon found out that there was a PC port for this game, which I promptly picked up, and within a matter of days, which would have been hours if I didn't need to go to class, I found myself back in the wreckage of the exploding Pillar of Autumn, with only a short window of time to escape. Back then, up until that point in my gaming career, most games I played were either on-foot first-person shooters or driving games. In the age of Half-Life, Unreal Tournament, Driver, and Cruisin' USA, Halo was honestly one of the first games I played that blended the fast-paced, reactive gameplay of a shooter and the adrenaline-inducing excitement of a driving game. Halo wasn't the first, it was just the first for me. And there was just something about escaping from a building or structure as it's exploding around you, especially when every living thing in sight is trying to kill you. You know, there's a reason that both Hollywood and the gaming industry go back to this well time and again. But the real excitement starts about halfway through your escape. Once you reach the extraction point and you watch Fullhammer, an ancillary but nonetheless noble and likable character, get shot down.
Evade. Say again, evade. Echo 419, gone.
And you realize
Calculating alternate
you're on
escape
your
route.
own.
Ship's inventory
Boy,
shows
when that
no
Halo
Warthog
beat
fighters
kicks
still docked
up
in
and those
Launch Bay 7.
drums start
Move
pounding,
now, we
you
can
know
make
for
it.
a fact that shit just got real. Or should I say, as they said back then, business sure as hell had just picked up.
Up ahead, there's a gap in the trench. At top speed, we should be able to clear it.
And then just as you reach the end, you're watching the timer on the bottom right corner of your screen, you're watching the distance meter, and you're like, oh man, am I going to make it? And then it seems like every single barrel, every single enemy is an obstacle, and you're just rushing towards that finish line, that end goal. It's definitely one of the most satisfying endings to a game that I've seen. It actually had me sit back in my chair, heart pounding, and just let out a sigh of relief, just like the Chief did as he removed his helmet. Definitely one of the most memorable moments in gaming for me, and one that I'll not soon forget. And definitely one that will be hard-pressed to be replaced on my list of top 10. Stay tuned, because the list continues on.
Now let me call Dog. He loves to play fetch.
Dog, come!
Good doggy.
Number 5, Dog vs. Strider, Half-Life 2, Episode 2. A character doesn't have to talk to be greatly written. The range of body language and facial expressions are often all a viewer needs in order to interpret exactly what that character is thinking. Again, if they're properly written, of course. And one of the all-time greats in this category is none other than Dog.
Well, Gordon, unless you have a better suggestion, he is a robot. He's done the math.
Alex Vance's playful robot companion from the Half-Life series, who looks more like a mechanical silverback gorilla than a dog. However, no name is more aptly suitable for this fully sentient machine. Playful and curious, however ready and willing to defend his master and friends to the death with rabid ferocity. And no better instance of this is shown than when a derelict Strider rises from a mangled wreckage to ambush our two wayward protagonists. That's when Dog bears his proverbial teeth. It's at this moment that Dog really shows just how powerful he truly is. And the cherry on top is that brief moment of tension when you think Dog may be gone.
Dog, are you all right? Wake up, Dog. Please.
but it takes a lot more than a towering Combine Strider to keep this good boy down.
You had me worried there. Everything working all right?
The Reapers were an ancient race of machines that wiped out the Protheans. Then they vanished.
The Geth believe the Reapers are gods, and Saren is the prophet for their return.
We think the Conduit is the key to bringing them back. Saren's searching for it. That's why he attacked Eden Prime.
Do we even know what this Conduit is?
Saren thinks it can bring back the Reapers. That's bad enough.
Number 4. The SPECTRE Induction. Mass Effect. There is literally only one game series that I revere on equal footing with the Half-Life series of games, and that is the Mass Effect trilogy. But to be perfectly blunt, the first installment in the series didn't hook me right away. After the first mission on Eden Prime and then a little bit of running around back and forth on the Citadel, I had resigned to accept this game as little more than a standard sci-fi RPG. Not a bad one, have you, but it hadn't really done anything yet to impress me. That was until one eventful meeting with the Citadel Council, where after much deliberation they elect to grant you, Commander Shepard, the title of Spectre. It sort of came out of nowhere, but it's the moment that truly made me fall in love with the game.
Commander Shepard, step forward. It is the decision of the Council that you be granted all the powers and privileges of the Special Tactics and Reconnaissance Branch of the Citadel.
Spectres are not trained, but chosen. Individuals forged in the fire of service and battle. Those whose actions elevate them above the rank and file.
Spectres are an ideal, a symbol, the embodiment of courage, determination, and self-reliance. They are the right hand of the Council, instruments of our will.
Spectres bear a great burden. They are protectors of galactic peace, both our first and last line of defense. The safety of the galaxy is theirs to uphold.
You are the first human Spectre, Commander. This is a great accomplishment for you and your entire species.
The sheer magnitude and gravitas of what was happening gave me goosebumps. I felt like I was being knighted or sworn into the Green Lantern Corps or something. The music, the people gathering around to watch, it truly was a great moment. And it truly gives the player that sense of motivation in tracking down the rogue Spectre Saren. Little did I know the ride that I was in for.
A man builds a city at the bottom of the sea. That's a marvel. Another man happens to be on a plane that crash lands on the same city in the middle of the ocean. Why, that sounds more like a myth.
Number 3. A man chooses, a slave obeys. BioShock. Unlike what I said on my previous entry, BioShock was a game that had me captivated from the moment I started. The plane crash leaving you treading water in the middle of a glistening moonlit ocean, the descent in a bathysphere with a compelling introduction by an Andrew Ryan to his vision of perfection.
I am Andrew Ryan, and I'm here to ask you a question.
To the breathtaking reveal of the undersea cityscape of Rapture. The game itself is a masterfully crafted non-stop action thriller, made even more satisfying by an intriguing story and a rogues gallery of characters vying for control over not only the city, but of you as well. All of this put together is enough for a memorable and enjoyable first-person shooter experience. But cap that off with one of the most unexpected plot twists in gaming, where you, the player, not just Jack, the playable character, find out you've been being played like a puppet this whole time.
It's
time to either run the table or go home empty. Ryan's got the genetic key to Rapture. We get that from him, and we get out of this hellhole. We don't, then you and I are ghosts. Now would you kindly head to Ryan's office and kill the son of a bitch? It's time to finish this.
The assassin has overcome my final defense, and now he's come to murder me. In the end, what separates a man from a slave? Money? Power? No. A man chooses. A slave obeys. You think you have memories. A farm. A family. An airplane. A crash. And then this place. Was there really a family? Did that airplane crash? Or was it hijacked? Forced down. Forced down by something less than a man, something bred to sleepwalk through life until they are activated by a simple phrase spoken by their kindly master. Was a man sent to kill, or a slave? A man chooses. A slave obeys. Come in. Stop, would you kindly? Would you kindly? Powerful phrase. Familiar phrase.
Would you kindly? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly head to Ryan's office and kill the son of a bitch?
Sit, would you kindly? Stand, would you kindly? Run! Stop! Turn. A man chooses. A slave obeys. Kill! A man chooses! A slave obeys!
This goes to show you that Ryan had complete control of you that entire time. He chose to die. And when a game can make you think like that and really blow your mind, you know you've got yourself one for the ages.
The Reaper IFF is online, but there is a chance that the Normandy may not survive the Omega-4 relay. Once we are en route, we are committed.
The Collectors took my people. Time to go get them back.
You got it, Commander. Plotting a course for the Omega-4 relay. ETA about 2 hours. I'll let you know when we arrive.
Number 2. Escape from the Collector Base, Mass Effect 2. And now we come to the third and final escape from the exploding building cliché on my list. As I said before, there are few, if any, game series that can parallel the Mass Effect series for me. One of the reasons for this is because of a unique mechanic that I'd never seen before in any other game, and that was the ability to have your story, your decisions, and really your entire history carry over from the first installment, from the first Mass Effect game into this one, and even from this one into the third one. Every decision had a consequence, and every consequence carried over. I know even to this day not too many games do this. So on top of the countless hours that I'd sunk into Mass Effect 2 itself, I also had all the hours and hard work of my Mass Effect 1 playthrough piled on and writing on this ending. Couple that with the fact that I knew that it was possible for one or even all of your teammates to die in combat, including yourself. Well, this was the proverbial moment of truth. The moment where I would find out if I did everything right, if my hard work would pay off. There was literally nothing to do but sit back and hold my breath.
I'm here, Joker. Did the ground team make it?
All survivors on board. We're just waiting for you.
Human, you've changed nothing. Your species has the attention of those infinitely or greater. That which you know as Reapers are your salvation through destruction.
Once I escaped, I smiled, melted into my chair, and breathed the biggest sigh of relief I can remember. I felt emotionally exhausted. My heart was racing, adrenaline was pumping, and my hands had been balled into white-knuckled fists. But as the elusive man's holographic visage appeared before me in the heart of the Normandy, I knew I had won. But the fight was far from over. You know what isn't far from over, however? This countdown video. And before I reveal the #1 pick for my top gaming moment, I'd like to share a few honorable mentions that didn't quite make it onto this list. I won't go into detail on these, so if you want more information, you'll have to look them up yourself.
Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow? No, says the man in Washington, it belongs to the poor. No, says the man in the Vatican, it belongs to God. No, says the man in Moscow, it belongs to everyone. I rejected those answers. Instead, I chose something different. I chose the impossible. I chose rapture. A city where the artist would not fear the censor, where the scientist would not be bound by petty morality, where the great would not be constrained by the small. And with the sweat of your brow, rapture can become your city as well.
Ow! Run! Incoming! There's too many of them! God damn!
Everybody stand down! Here you go. Good job, Vincent.
I'm sorry, Leo.
Sweet Jesus.
Doctor?
What are you doing in here? I won't let you take her. Don't come.
No! You fucking animal!
Come on, baby girl. I got you. I got you. Oh, shit.
You're strong, Clem. You can do anything.
But I'm little.
Doesn't mean nothing. You go see bad stuff, but it's okay.
My parents. It's so horrible.
I can't imagine, sweet pea.
And now, you? Please. Please don't be one of them. Please don't become a walker.
There's only one thing you can do. You know that.
I don't know if I can.
Don't be afraid.
Want to see more content like this? Leave a comment below. Tell us what you like, and don't forget to subscribe for more Odds and Ends Gaming live streams, reviews, playthroughs, and podcasts.
Rothschild, is it ready?
What? No, I mean, Lee and I have solved the power problems, but we've only barely finished diagnostic tests.
So?
It's not ready for field tests, let alone live fire situations.
The weapons haven't been calibrated, the navigation detection system is offline.
Wrathchild, enough. Can you make it work?
Honestly, I don't know. I think we can scrape by, and I suppose if we can't, it won't matter in the long run anyway.
Number 1. The March of Liberty Prime, Fallout 3. I gotta admit, I'm a simple man, and I have simple tastes. Growing up, I was always a kaiju fan. I loved watching Ultraman, Godzilla, and on Saturday mornings, nothing beat waking up to watching Transformers, Beast Wars, Megas XLR, and Power Ranger Zord battles. So, I like big monsters, and I like big robots. And I'm man enough to admit that I cried when Optimus Prime died. Seriously, there were tears. So, it's no wonder that this was just a total geek-out nerdgasm moment for me. When Liberty Prime is first deployed, he looks like a rigid wind-up toy just standing there. They even smash in a wall as they're trying to get him out. Needless to say, I was underwhelmed at first. That is until the first Enclave vertibird shows up and tries to dispatch this patriotic Iron Giant, like swatting at flies. But as if firing proton eye lasers and throwing mini nukes around like footballs weren't enough.
Engaging red Chinese aggressors.
The icing on the cake is his red-blooded American propaganda.
Tactical assessment. Red Chinese victory. Impossible. Democracy is non-negotiable. Obstruction detected. Composition. Titanium alloy supplemented by photonic resonance barrier. Probability of mission hindrance. 0%. Communism is a lie. Alaska's liberation is imminent. We will not fear the Red Menace. The last domino falls here. Freedom is the sovereign right of every American. Communism is a temporary setback on the road to freedom. Initiating Directive 7395. Destroy all communists. Democracy is non-negotiable. America will never fall to communist invasion. Significant obstruction detected. Composition. Titanium alloy supplemented by enhanced photonic resonance barrier. Established stratagem inadequate. Revised stratagem. Initiate photonic resonance overcharge.
And let's be sure to get one thing straight. While this is all happening, this is his show. While you're tagging along, gunning down individual Enclave foot soldiers, Liberty Prime is blasting vertibirds, wiping out entire squadrons with nuke football, and plowing through barriers like they were nothing. And truth be told, Optimus wasn't the only Prime I cried for.
Catastrophic system failure. Initiating core shutdown as per emergency initiative 2682.
Well, that wraps up this Odds and Ends Gaming Top 10 Countdown video. I sure hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a like. Let us know what you want to see in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, settle down. Have a great one.